Welcome everyone to Matrix Live Season 2 Episode 27. And I've been staying here with the mouth open for so long that it's going to be hard for you to trim this video.
I'm sure we'll be able to trim the video.
Yes, Season 2 Episode 27. And shall I start with Riot Web?
Yes, let's talk about Riot Web. Why have you even got the giggles?
Huh?
Why have you even got the giggles?
I was tired.
Okay. I wish I giggled when I was tired.
So this week we cut off the release candidate for Riot 0.16, which includes the exciting bits of Jitsi when you press the button in a group room, the video call button in the group room, it will launch a Jitsi video conference. This is going to be tedious. And it also includes the new slate. So there's still some polishing ongoing on the GT side of things, but all the bugs are fixed now. And on slate, same thing. Tech Guy is finishing it, and it looks great. So it doesn't feel super different, but it's much better.
Yeah, so Slate's the new composer, and it looks identical except it works reliably. And on the Jitsi side of things, the best thing ever is that when you switch room now, Jitsi goes up into the top left rather than losing you out of the conversation, which is nice.
Yeah. And meanwhile, the implementation of the lazy loading of the members of a room is still progressing, and the result of it is great. We see huge difference, so that's really going to be nice to see. The release is due on Monday. On the crypto side of things, Huareg has also been progressing on hooking up the incremental key backup. So yeah, good progress on that side too.
This is massive, actually, given that it was a huge amount of unfinished work that I started in January and haven't managed to finish myself. And so I've handed over to Hubert, who's been cracking away at it, and it's going to make a massive difference once it lands.
In terms of the usability of crypto, it did. On Riot Mobile, they're supporting the room version upgrade, at least on, which one did we see? I think on both platforms, actually. The replies UI, well, actually the action of replying is also implemented on iOS and working well.
This is really cute. All you do is you tap on the message to select it, and then rather than saying send a message, it says send a reply in the message composer. So whatever you type in there then gets sent as a reply to whatever you have highlighted. I think it's
really nice.
It's really slick.
Nice UX. And the lazy loading of members is also done and working. So the thing is, on iOS, it has been split into 2 bits, and half of it is still ongoing, but the current... Oh no, actually, the whole thing we saw earlier, the current implementation is speeding up the launch by at least 3 times, or reducing it by 3 times,
Yeah, speeding it up by a factor of 3, at least. I mean, I was on a simple account with a couple of hundred rooms in it, but on a big account with like thousands of rooms like mine, you should expect to see a speed ups of like 5, 6 times, which would be really nice.
Yeah.
Should I talk about Synapse?
Yes, go ahead on Synapse.
Right, lots and lots of stuff on the back end side of things. Hawk Owl has been running the first ever Python 3.6 Synapse, thanks to all the work that Notifile did and that she's been continuing. So far, RAM usage is looking to be about 2 or 3 times better than Python 2, although we don't have final stats in. I'm also running one on my personal home server. There are still some bugs which are being worked out, and a lot of work to be done splitting out the massive Python 3 PR into things which can all be reviewed. But it's looking pretty promising. Also, on the lazy loading members stuff, there's the server side of it. We've got 6 PRs out, 3 of which are now merged into develop, 3 are outstanding, but the hardest one is hopefully done now, and that's what all the client side is being developed against. The state resolution proposal, after all the excitement last week, it's been sitting out there this week. People have been reading through it and giving some feedback, particularly thanks to Uhareg for going and wading through the whole thing. Lots and lots of PRs. I think we've got about 60 backlog on Synapse right now, and so Rich particularly has been doing nothing but going through PRs. Also been implementing the room versioning stuff. Again, the server side, the client side stuff that Amandine just told us about, and gathering feedback on the matrix spec change for that. And performance fixes on Synapse. This is pretty big. We've optimized the current state resolution stuff a bit in a manner which will also work for the future state resolution stuff, and also improved sync performance. I can't remember whether that had happened last week or not. It might have just happened, but the end result is that looking at the message latency graphs over the last couple of days.
I think that was this week because we saw it yesterday. We talked about it, and then like a few hours later, a Freenode exploded and it was back to normal.
That was the second one though. That was the that was optimizing state res, whereas fixing the sync performance problem, I think that might have happened on Friday last week. Either way, looking at the latency graphs for message for end to end, like literally going all the way around the houses over the last couple of days, it was all skewed due to the abuse on Freenode that I'm sure anybody on Freenode has been seeing over the last few days. But once that tapered off, we've basically improved our latency by about 3 times to 5 times. So in practice, that's peaking at like 10 seconds, going down to about 1.8. And 1.8 is still pretty awful, but it's a hell of a lot more usable than waiting 10 seconds for your message to go through. On Dendrite, we've wrapped up the sort of summer, or we are wrapping up the summer progress on Dendrite. Really exciting to see end-to-end encryption working, thanks to a big patch from Fadeace, which you can see a GIF of that Anoa did on Twitter. Also got open tracing support in there, which has been tidied up and looking good, and lots and lots and lots of stuff still going on from AP Whitehat as well. So we're about to put out a blog post actually all about where Dendrite has been going, and that should be probably going live this evening. And finally, on the spec side of things, Travis has been continuing to blitz through the server-to-server spec stuff with PRs flying around all over the place, and some of them are even getting reviewed and landing. If you look at the server-to-server spec, you can on the main Matrix website, you can see it growing. And finally, Uhareg has also been working through end-to-end spec stuff and merging basically all of the updates to the end-to-end spec that Zillow, the GSOC student, has been working on and contributing. So basically, it's been quite a busy and exciting week, and cannot wait to see the Python 3 stuff land and the lazy loading, and hopefully we will give the great internet a much more compelling, snappy alternative to HipChat and Stride, or indeed Slack, or WhatsApp, or whatever your favourite communication thing is. I guess, what do we have coming up?
Exciting. Before that, is there anything from the bridging side of things?
Halfshot has been doing a ton of bridging stuff, and it was actually written up on the main This Week in Matrix thing here somewhere. Let me try to see if I can find it. Well done for putting me on the spot though. There we go. So Halfshot said, in fact, I heard him telling Ben what he was up to.
So you should know.
He has been working stridently, apparently, on the Discord bridge, but also on the main Matrix app service bridge side of things. There's been a whole bunch of things landing, as well as fixes on the Slack bridge and the IRC bridge, and it's all sorts of little things across the whole board there, and it's really, really nice having somebody working properly on bridges. So thank you, Halfshot, if you're out there. Yeah, sorry, the comedy buddy, Halfshot sitting at his desk over there.
So exciting stuff coming up next week. We're going to the Decentralized Web Summit in San Francisco, which happened 2 years ago. So second edition, bigger and better. And it's going to be super exciting because we have at least 4 talks coming, and a lot of discussions with other decentralized projects. So everything will be live streamed.
Yep. So, live streamed in 8K apparently, what with it being the Internet Archive and all.
So fun stuff.
And if anybody, we're going to be doing GDPR talk, which has actually turned into a general what happens when decentralization hits regulation panel. There's going to be a big decentralization workshop that we're doing. We've got
decentralized communication.
Yeah, sorry, decentralized communication workshop. There's your growing pains talk,
Yeah,
and we're doing the science fair as well.
and lightning talk.
Yeah.
So yeah.
All the details are up on decentralizedweb.net or #decentralizedweb@kernelmatrix.org for those using newfangled technologies. What else? There's something else I thought we should talk about, but I'm totally blanking on what it is. Yeah, it was. God, what was it? Something on the dev side that's coming out this week that's going to be really exciting. And I'm forgetting what it was. It's so annoying. Yes, yeah, that was it. Thank you. Brilliant. Telepathy. Yes, design. We haven't made much progress on implementing the new Riot web design. Now the lazy loading performance work is out the door across Riot. We're just going to be blitzing this as fast as we can. We were hoping to show it off in San Francisco next week. Let's see how rapidly we can pull it together. And it's going to be a combination of Bruno and myself trying to pull it together as quick as we can on web. And meanwhile, we've got the mobile design too, which I think the Android guys are going to start doing proof of concepts of in the very near future.
Yeah.
So exciting times. And if people have been tracking, August is basically our first big deadline to try to get our R0 release of the Matrix spec out the door, start heading towards a 1.0 for Synapse, hopefully, as well as getting all of the remaining performance stuff out the door. So I think the next month is going to be rather exciting, and you'll see just how burnt out or excited we are in a couple of weeks.
On the plus side, there is definitely good progress being made and relatively on track. So yeah, let's see. Might be a whole new place in a month from now.
Hope so. Yeah. Okay, well, thanks everybody for supporting Matrix and listening to us babble away. And I guess it's the end of another long week. And have a wonderful weekend.
Have a good weekend. Speak to you soon. Bye.